Ang katibayan na maaring wala pong ganun, sapagkat hindi man lang naka-annotate do sa likod ng titulo na dapat sana ay naka-annotate po yung petition for registration sa likod ng titulo. Wala po. At the very least, Mr. Chair, makikita natin doon yung title ng kaso, Petition for Registration or Petition for Provisional Registration, yung case number, at pati na po yung pangalan po ng korte. Halimbawa po, Branch 110 ng Regional Trial Court ng Quezon City. Wala po lahat yun. Kaya talaga pong kaduda-duda yung titulo mismo ng ABS-CBN diyan sa Memander Ignacia na kung saan nandyan po ang kanilang headquarters. Ito po siguro ang dahilan, Mr. Chair, kung bakit ipinasya ni Pangulong Cory Aquino na idaan ang lahat sa arbitration. Sa kasamang palad, wala nga po silang maipakita ng record ng arbitration na ito hanggang sa ngayon. Tax evasion. It was conclusively proved that ABS-CBN and its subsidiaries engaged in complex schemes to unjustly avoid paying taxes or unconscionably reduce the taxes due to the government. Nakasaad po sa prangkisa ng ABS-CBN na dapat itong magbayad ng tama at kaukulang buwis sa pagtuos ng BIR. But ABS-CBN used its wholly owned subsidiary, Big Dipper Digital Content and Design Inc., a PESA-registered IT company, as a convenient tax shield to deprive the government of billions in revenues. Lumitaw po sa pagdinig na bilang isang PESA-registered company, ang Big Dipper ay exempted sa pagbabayad ng buwis sa unang 6 na taon nito. Pagkatapos nito ay lilipat siya sa 5% na pagbabayad ng tax on gross income, napakaliit kung ihahambing sa hindi PESA-registered company na nagbabayad ng 30% of its taxable income, maliban pa sa iba't iba pang national and local taxes. Ang mas malaking bentaha po ng Big Dipper ay walang tax na ibinabayad kung magdideclare po ng dividends na kasangkot ang ABS-CBN bilang parent company. Very much like the Amcara ploy, Big Dipper has no other clients than ABS-CBN and its subsidiaries. It has only one foreign client, ABS-CBN Global Hungary, na wala pong empleyado kahit isa. In other words, Big Dipper exists only for and because of ABS-CBN, which inflates its costs paid for digitization to Big Dipper and therefore reduces its 30% tax obligation on its income but reaps a windfall on dividends with Big Dipper, which is zero rated. Ang pera ay pumapasok lang sa isang bulsa at lumalabas din sa kabilang bulsa dahil iisang tao lang ang may suot ng pantalon na merong 2 malalim na bulsa. By taking advantage of the Philippine Export Processing Zone, Big Dipper was able to significantly reduce its costs while inflating its income courtesy of its client relatives. It is good that the Committee on Good Government and Public Accountability will conduct a parallel investigation with the Public Accounts Committee to look at possible collusion with the officials of PESA. For the past 4 years alone, Big Dipper declared revenue amounting to 10.6 billion pesos. Nakikita po nyo sa slide. The declared dividends went to the coffers of ABS-CBN tax-free. Ordinarily, this amount would have been assessed income tax of 3.7 billion pesos. That's the amount that the government should have earned, and would have eventually went to education, health, assistance to victims of calamities, and similar public services. ABS-CBN claims that BIR has cleared it of any tax liabilities. But the same agency also clarified that the tax clearance is issued not to mean that ABS-CBN has no other liabilities, or that when fraud is detected, it is already immune for further investigation. Hindi po. Kapag nakatuklas po sila ng fraud, maaari pa rin silang investigahan kahit na meron silang tax clearance. The BIR Regional Director, in fact, signified his intention to look into the operations of Big Dipper in the light of the revealing pieces of evidence that were elicited during the hearings. Bakit nga po ang GMA7 na hindi naman kasing laki o yaman kaya ng ABS-CBN ay nakapagbabayad ng lampas sa 1 bilyong piso kada taon? Samantalang ang ABS-CBN matapos makilatis ng mga dokumentong kanilang isinumite ay nakapagbayad lamang ng halos kalahating bilyon lamang sa loob ng 3 taon. Nasa slide po yan. 2016, 2017, and 2018. Bakit naman kailangang tipirin ang gobyerno samantalang ito ang nagkaloob ng pribilehyo ng prangkisa? Sa isa nga pong kaso na nabanggit sa pagdinig, ay 2.5 billion pesos ang dapat nilang bayaran mula sa pagtaya ng BIR. Napatunayan po na matapos ang compromise settlement, ang ABS-CBN po ay nagbayad lamang ng 152 million, katumbas po ng higit sa 3% na kanilang dapat bayaran. Maraming beses ko pong ginamit na halimbawa ang isang manliligaw sa usaping ito. Dahil sa kanyang paghahangad na makuha ang kamay o pagsang-ayon ng kanyang sinusuyo, pati nga buwan at mga tala ay kanyang susungkitin. Isang pribilehyo kasi na makamit mo ang kanyang pagsang-ayon. Ang prangkisa ay isa ring pribilehyo, Mr. Chair. Pagkatapos na kayo ay sagutin ng Estado at gawaran ng ABS-CBN ng prangkisa noong 1995, bakit naman ganito ang pagtrato nila sa gobyerno? Halos ayaw na nilang magbayad ng buwis. Ito ba ang in the service of the Filipino? O in this service of the Filipino? Unfair labor practice. The proceedings eloquently bared it all. ABS-CBN violated the rights of its own workers. It has denied them their just share in production as required by the Constitution. It committed unfair labor practices that consistently denied its employees security of tenure and benefits that come with regular employment. Ang turing pa naman nila sa kapamilya nila ang mga ito. Ito po ba ang pinatunayan? Ito po ang pinatunayan sa pagdinig ng mga taong naghayag ng hinanakit na naglingkod sa kanila ng tapat sa mahabang panahon. Napatunayan din natin na sadyang nililito ng ABS-CBN ang publiko nang sabihin nito na lampas sa 11,000 ang mga empleyado nito nang masusing tingnan ang mga papeles galing sa mga ahensya ng ating pamahalaan tulad ng BIR, PhilHealth, SSS, Home Development Fund at Employment Compensation Commission. Ang regular na manggagawa ng ABS-CBN ay halos 1/3 bahagi lamang. At ang karamihan ay tinrato na independent contractors, talents, project workers at contractuals kahit pang regular na empleyo ang kanilang normal na gawain. Ipinagmalaki ng ABS-CBN ang halos 14 na benepisyo na tinatanggap ng kanilang talents, project workers, or contractuals. Pero ang pinakamabuti, ang pinakamahalagang benepisyo, ang pagiging regular, ay tahasan naman nilang ipinagkait sa kanila. It was established that ABS-CBN, and contrary to the endeared kapamilya treatment to its workers, showed a pattern of systemic denial from its deserving workers the benefit of regularization. Time and again, the Supreme Court ruled in favor of the aggrieved workers who were deemed employees given the basic test that what they do is within the network's control as it is desirable and necessary to the business of ABS-CBN. How can ABS-CBN reconcile the fact that people serve it for 10, 15, and even 20 years and still claim that they are not performing work necessary and desirable to its business? Paano po sila mamamalagi ng ganong katagal kung hindi naman kailangan ng kanilang paglilingkod? Isn't it that their length of service alone speak much of their loyalty, their competence, and their adherence to the kapamilya sense of belonging? Ibinabato-bato na lang ba ninyo kung saan-saan ang kapakanan ng inyong mga kawani? Gaya po ng sinabi ko na, ABS-CBN should have led the example that charity begins at home. Total, bilyon-bilyon naman ang kinikita ninyo taon-taon. At bilyon-bilyon din naman ang natitipid sa pagbabayad ng buwis. Hindi pa ba ninyo kayang totohanin na maging kapamilya ninyo ang mga manggagawang ito, alang-alang man lang sa katuwiran na nakasama ninyo sila at napakinabangan sa mahabang panahon? Ngayon, ginagamit na naman sila ng ABS-CBN sa dahilan para bigyan sila ng bagong prangkisa. Hindi lamang po sila, pati ang mga kababayan nating pinasasaya nila. Kanina lang po ay nakita natin muli ang kanilang isa-isang paghibik na kung isasara ang ABS-CBN, mawawalan na sila ng tagatangkilik, tagatulong, tagapagbigay ng pag-asa, tagapagbigay ng kapanalig nila sa bawat yugto ng kanilang buhay. Nakita po natin lahat yun. Pero ang palagi nating sinasabi, magagawa naman po yan ng ABS-CBN sapagkat yan ang pinakamalaki na broadcasting industry sa ating bansa. Magagawa naman niya yan sapagkat yan ang tungkulin niya talaga kung bakit siya kumuha ng prangkisa. Pero mas lalo niyang magagawa, Mr. Chair, na sumunod sila sa batas habang ginagawa nila ang kanilang tungkulin. Sinabi ba nila sa kanilang mga taong binibigyan ng entertainment na dapat huwag silang singilin sapagkat ang prangkisang ibinigay natin sa kanila 25 years ago ay libre? Ang tawag nga natin free-to-air frequency. Ang ibig sabihin, hindi po kayo pwedeng magbenta ng black box pagkatapos pasisingil nyo sa kanila. Sisingilin nyo sa kanila. Hindi kayo pwedeng magbigay ng maraming channels para exclusive, para ilak ninyo, para maging encrypted. Sapagkat kapag bumili sila ng pangkaraniwang digital receiver o black box, hindi nila mapapanood yun. Kailangan magbayad ang tao. Ganun po ba yung pinaliwanag nila nung i-launch nila ang TV Plus? Hindi po. May panlin lang. May pandaraya. Dapat sana binigay yun ng libre. 12 channels, lalong napasaya ang mga tao. Lalong gumanda ang prestihyo at ang imahe ng ABS-CBN. Sapagkat walang siningil kahit isang kusing mula sa ating kababayan. Sapagkat yun ang tungkulin nila sa kanilang prangkisa. Yun ang sinumpaan nila sa kanilang prangkisa. Pero kabaligtaran ang nangyari. Pero ngayon gagamitin nila ang mga taong bayan. Kabaligtaran na naman ang pinapaliwanag. Hindi ba't ABS-CBN naman ang unang dahilan kung bakit ang mga manggagawa ay naging kawawa? Dahil hanggang ngayon ay binabato-bato lang nila ang kaparapatan ng kanilang manggagawa. Political bias and bias reporting. ABS-CBN has been biased in favor or against candidates during past elections is already common knowledge. Kahit pa ulit-ulit na itanggi ito, kahit magtago pa ito sa likod ng press freedom at doktrina ng fair comment, alam na natin ito. Ito ay wala ng bago. Kapag gusto ka ng ABS-CBN, bibigyan ka ng exposure sa pamamagitan ng interview, balita sa news, programs, at i-feature ka sa mga entertainment shows. Kung ayaw ka, tiyak na babatikusin ka, hanapan ka ng butas, lalagyan ka ng slant o anggulo sa balita na sangkot ka, at hindi ka bibigyan ng pagkakataon para sumagot o magpaliwanag. Kanina po yung mga ilang detalya ng kanilang pagmimayari sa mga ibang industriya ibinanggit na ni Congressman Defensor. Totoo po lahat yun. Nagagamit po ang lahat ng ito na plataforma para gumawa sila ng kanilang sariling mga opisyal sa gobyerno. Tutulungan nila para maproteksyonan ang kanilang mga industriya. Ibig sabihin, hindi po in the service of the Filipino. In the service of the Filipino ang mas tamang angkop. We heard some of our colleagues who ventilated their complaints. When asked, Mr. Carlo Katigbak confirmed that their sentiments are valid, and he publicly made a commitment that everyone will be accorded the chance to air their sides in his network. The offer obviously came too late in the day. It has been established and has become public knowledge that ABS-CBN aired the anti-Duterte and paid for former Senator Antonio Trillanes IV that exploited children in partisan politics. And despite the fact that it happened on the last day of the election period, when candidate Duterte had no more chance to react or clear his name in the same media network. Mabuti na lamang po at nag-issue ng TRO ang korte sa petisyon ni Speaker Alan Cayetano na noon ay Vice President ni Pangulong Duterte. Ayan po yung mga slides para sa inyong kapakanan. But it is not the bias reporting and the negative campaign per se that is insidious. It is the use of ABS-CBN's network to influence the outcome of political exercise, not for public good, but for its narrow political end that will inure to the advancement of ABS-CBN's corporate interests. Political partisanship is contrary to the terms of its legislative franchise and in violation of the Omnibus Election Code. Uulitin ko po ang sinabi ko na sa umpisa pa ng pagdinig natin. Hindi na dapat maimpluwensya ang mga mamamayan sa pakikialam ng ABS-CBN sa politika. If ABS-CBN wants to be in the service of the Filipino people, it should stop mixing up its economic objectives with the simple aspirations of the ordinary citizens. These two are different and poles apart. At this point, please allow me to address the ABS-CBN's contention that possible denial of its franchise application is tantamount to violation of freedom of the press and of free speech. Kung tatanggapin po natin ang misleading na argumentong ito, edi yun palang nakapakaraming aplikasyon para sa renewal ng franchise ng mga radio and television stations. Noon, ay dapat pala pinagbigyan na lang natin lahat, Mr. Chair. At hindi natin siguro sila inayawan. Kung yun po yung argumento lang. Pero hindi po eh. Kasi po kung tatanggapin natin yun ang argumento, ang prangkisa will become a matter of right. Hindi na po siya pribilehyo. Wala na tayong discretion. Puro ministerya na lang. Pagka po dumating na sa Committee on Legislative Franchises, wala na po tayong option doon. Siguradong dapat po ibigay natin. Sapagkat pag hindi natin ibinigay, sasabihin nila, oh, that is a violation of free speech. Hindi po ganun. That will be in direct violation of the mandate reposed by the Constitution to Congress as the guardian of this special privilege. Unable to repel the avalanche of evidence against the grant of a new franchise, ABS-CBN Corporation tries a new tact. Very recently, they asked for prayers, words, and actions, and pleaded for help, saying that it's no longer about business for them, but about the kind of system and country and leadership we want. Ito po yung sinabi nila, quoted po ito sa social media and other platforms. But how can ABS-CBN manage to still reverse the tide of public opinion against it when their phalanx of lawyers and accountants prove inadequate to the evidence-based interpellations on the floor that exposed their ruse and legerdemain? The last 2 days of the hearing told it all. The defenses of ABS-CBN finally crumbled in tatters, and for all the people to see. The irony is ABS-CBN's appeal to flood, I will quote this again, to flood social media pages with positive stories about ABS-CBN. Apparently, the network, Mr. Chair, is the only one left to believe in the rectitude of its cause or the lack of it. Mr. Chair, maybe they are living in a parallel universe. It is like the proverbial ostrich that buried its head in the sand, but exposed its whole body for all people to see. This is the pitiful state of a broadcasting company which believed that it was invincible for so long a time. and it is above the law. It is high time that the sovereignty of the airways be restored to the people, the ones who will finally decide to whom and when to grant this special privilege called franchise. Mr. Chair, gusto ko pong pasalamatan bago ko magtapos si Enrique Hill at Lisa Soberano sa pagbati at pamanghik na ipinaabot nila sa aming mag-asawa. Naramdaman ko ang kanilang katapatan. Sana po ganun ang ABS-CBN. Sa kanilang dalawa, alam ko na mauunawaan nila na ito po ay tawag lang ng tungkulin. At hinahangad ko ang higit na tagumpay para sa kanila sa mga darating na panahon. Let me end with a popular movie clip from an on-screen and off-screen hero that had captured the hearts of millions of Filipinos. To sum up the comprehensive, impartial, and open proceedings implored by the Speaker of the House, Alan Peter Cayetano, in regard to the franchise application of ABS-CBN. Yang sabi nga po ni FPJ, Mr. Chair, kung uulitin ko lang, ABS-CBN, puno na ang salop. Dapat ka nang kalusin. Maraming salamat po.
Maraming salamat, Marco. At ngayon po ay napakinggan na po natin ng magkaparehas na panig. Inaanyayahan po lahat ng mga miyembro, katulad ko po, na miyembro ng legislative franchise na rebisahin na po ang mga bagay na binigyan po ng pagbubuod ni Deputy Speaker Dante Marcoleta at ni Congressman Zarate upang mas maayos po nating pag-aralan at mapag-aralan ang pagboto
in order to have a more systematic and organized consideration of the summarized points or arguments discussed by both sides, gagawa po ang committee ng isang TWG as per Section 10 of the committee's internal rules to study and draft their recommendations on the application for franchise of ABS-CBN to be presented in the meeting of the committee tomorrow. So ang kasama po dito sa technical working group ay si Congressman XJ Romualdo, Deputy Speaker Pablo John Garcia at Congresswoman Stella Luz Kimbo. So bukas po magkakaroon po tayo ng hearing ng Committee ng Legislative Franchise alauna po ng hapon. Pero pakiusap ko po sa mga members, kung pwede po kayong magpaaga ng pag-login o pagpunta kasi meron po tayong organizational meeting ng 12:15, 12:30 po bago po ang ating hearing proper na alauna.
Atin rin pong ipagpapatuloy ang pagdinig ng House Resolutions patungkol naman sa NTC, Solgen at ang show cause order ng Kongreso sa NTC. Kasama na rin po ang iba pang mga usapin patungkol rin po dito sa pagbibigay ng prangkisa ng ABS-CBN, kung may nilabag ba ang AMCARA at yung po kaninang nasabi ni Vice Chairman Mike Defensor na patungkol sa Meralco. Iaanunsyo po ng Blue Ribbon Committee kung kailan po ang magiging hearing para dito. Sa mangyayari po na hearing bukas para sa Committee on Legislative Franchises, excuse po muna ang members ng Blue Ribbon Committee.
Maraming salamat, Chair Jonathan. Para sa pagtatapos, una sa lahat, gusto ko lang pong pasalamatan sina Speaker Alan Peter Cayetano at Majority Floor Leader Martin Romualdez para sa kanilang tiwala at patnubay sa ating committee para masiguradong patas, bukas at komprehensibo ang pagsasagawa ng ating mga hearing. Pangalawa, lubos din po tayo nagpapasalamat sa ating mga kasamahan sa Committee on Legislative Franchises at Committee on Good Government and Public Accountability, kabilang din ng ilang mga mababatas na tumulong sa atin upang busisiin ang iba't ibang issue. Ganon din ang aming lubos na pasasalamat sa ating mga naging resource persons at mga opisyal ng ABS-CBN sa kanilang matyagang pagsagot sa mga tanong at pagbigay ng liwanag sa mga isyong tinalakay. Amid our battle against against COVID-19 pandemic, the past 2 months have been challenging and grueling for the Committee on Legislative Franchises and its members to deliberate on the most controversial franchise of a media network. As we approach the final and most critical part of the deliberation, we call on our members to base their decision on their appreciation of facts and testimonies presented by all sides. As our Speaker has always reminded us to do what is right, let us continue to live up to the commitment of the 18th Congress to be a relevant, responsible, and responsive institution. Buong Pilipinas ay sumubaybay at nagbantay sa ating mga talakayan. May mga pagkakataong naging emosyonal ang mga pagtalakay sa isyu, ngunit hindi tayo tumigil hanggang makuha ang punot dulo ng problema. Nakinig tayo sa bawat argumento at alegasyon, at lahat ay binigyan natin ng pagkakataong makapagsalita at maipagtanggol ang kanilang opinyon at paniniwala sa pamamagitan ng malayang talakayan tulad nito. Pinagtitibay natin ang ating demokrasya, walang pinaboran o kinilingan sa bawat pagdinig. This is a historic opportunity for the 18th Congress to make a difference and prove our independence and integrity as an institution. We have all risen to this challenge and proven to everyone that we are capable of conducting exhaustive proceedings despite the current limitations and enormous expectations from the public. As we ask that our members be continuously guided by the principles of fairness, justice, honesty, and respect as we cast our final vote on the issue. We shall all vote according to our conscience. We also request from those who feel strongly about this issue to refrain from casting aspersions that do nothing but muddle the issue. Kailangan po nating magkaisa, magkaintindihan at magtulungan upang maitawid ng maayos ang isyong ito. Maraming salamat po.
Mr. Chair,
Maraming salamat,
Mr.
Chairman
Chair.
Chigoy. Yes, Minority Leader.
pwede po bang mabigyan ng kaunti lamang manifestation for this? Gusto ko lang po magpasalamat.
Yes, Minority Leader, you're given 2 minutes to manifest.
Gusto ko lang pong pasalamatan ng ating speaker sa pagkakataong binigay niya na exhaustively at comprehensively ay ito po ay tinalakay natin. Pro or con, whatever it is, ay palagay ko po nagawa natin ang dapat natin gawin. Gayun din po, kinukongratulate ko ang ating chairman ng Committee on Legislative Franchise, si Chairman Chicoy Alvarez. Gayun din po ang chairman ng Committee on Public Accountability, Chairman Jonathan Alvarado. Gayun din po ang Vice Chairman, si Chairman Defensor. At lahat po dito, I would like to congratulate you for doing everything you can. Pinagtiyagaan po ninyo. At talagang ito po ay tinalakay natin. Oo, kahit po gabihin po tayo. I really would like to congratulate ninyo. Salamat po sa inyo lahat. At alam ko po na ito ay dapat nating ipanalangin kung ano magiging boto natin for the next day. Yun lang po ang nais kong sabihin. Maraming salamat po sa inyo.
Maraming salamat po, Minority Leader Bishop Benny Abante. Sa lahat po ng ating mga kasama na miyembro ng Blue Ribbon Committee, ang chairman pong ito ay nagpapasalamat sa inyo, lalong-lalo na po sa aking masisipag. Wala ka pong masabi sa aking mga Vice Chairman, napakasisipag. Vice Chairman Mike Defensor, Senior Vice Chairman Boying Remulla, sa ating pong mga members na parating umaattend po ng ating hearing, sa atin pong mga kasama na nagrepresent sa pro at anti, kay Congressman Marcoleta, kay Congressman Jun Datol, Congressman Carlos Zarate, Congresswoman Franz Castro, Congresswoman Arlene Brosas, sa ating minamahal na Minority Leader, sa ating kasama, Congressman P.D. Barsaga, parating nandito at nagbibigay ng linaw sa atin, Congressman Dindi Bautista, sa ating Majority Leader, sa ating nagmamahal na Speaker of the House, Gayon din sa Committee on Legislative Franchises na pinamumunuan ni Chairman Chicoy Alvarez at ng ating mga kasama sa Secretariat sa buong bansang Pilipinas na nakasama namin sa haba po ng mga hearing na ating ginagawa at ginaganap. Pangkaraniwan ay nagsisimula ng alauna at kung minsan ay natatapos halos magmamadaling araw na. Kami po ay nagpapasalamat sa inyo. Sana po hindi po namin nasayang ang inyong oras ng panonood, bagkus ay maging kapaki-pakinabang po yung mga bagay na narinig ninyo at natunghayan ninyo dito sa bahay ng taong bayan, dito sa House of the People. Kami po sa Blue Ribbon Committee ay patuloy at maaari ninyong maging puntahan, maging daluyan ng inyong mga luha. Sabi nga po namin, ang sumbungan ng bayan na kailangan parating umaaksyon para sa buong bansang Pilipinas, para sa ating mamayan. Bagamat patapos na po ang usapin sa ABS-CBN, ang laban po para sa mamayang Pilipino ay malayo pa ang tatahakin. Sa susunod na linggo po ay patuloy po ang hearing ng Blue Ribbon Committee. Pagdating po ng Miyerkules, 1 p.m., patungkol po ito sa usapin sa kuryente. At pangkaraniwan, kayo po ay maraming reklamo sa mga power utilities, isa na po dito ang Meralco. Pagdating naman po ng Huwebes, trabaho po tayo ulit. At pag-uusapan naman po natin sa Huwebes kung naayos na ba ng DSWD o nakagawa na ba sila ng mas mabilis at mas magandang sistema para po sa pamimigay ng Social Amelioration Program. Gayon din po, ang amin pong chairman ng Public Accountability, ang atin pong partner Mike Defensor, ay mangunguna naman para sa hearing sa pagpapauwi ng ating stranded OFWs, pati po ng mga locally stranded nating kababayan dito sa bansang Pilipinas. Kasama na po ng aming pasasalamat ang napakagandang pagturing at pagsasamahan. At alam ko po, marami sa atin ay tinatansya pa rin kung ano ba talaga ang dapat igawad sa ABS-CBN. Kailangan ba itong bigyan ng muli ng prangkisa o kailangan ng tuldukan ang ABS-CBN? Iyan po ay ating assignment sa magdamag na ito. Iyan po ay ating tungkulin sa Diyos at sa bayan. Sa parte po ng Blue Ribbon Committee, on the part of the Blue Ribbon Committee, the hearing is now adjourned.
On the part of the Committee on Legislative Franchises, hearing is now adjourned. Good morning. On the part of the Committee on Legislative Franchises, a hearing is resumed.
On the part of the Blue Ribbon Committee, known as the Committee on Good Government and Public Accountability, the joint meeting with the Committee on Legislative Franchises is hereby called to order.
May I invite everyone to please stand for the prayer to be offered by our Vice Chairperson, Mike Defensor.
We thank you, dear Lord, for today. We pray, dear Lord, for our frontliners who are still battling the virus, the COVID. We pray for all those affected by COVID. And we pray, dear Lord, for the Filipino people. Please guide our House officials, members, and leaders in order to appreciate and foster the work of the joint committees as we submit to your grace and wisdom. May we implore that you endow us strength and guidance as we sit down and confer as one family, united in your name, all for your greater glory. Amen.
Please remain standing for the singing of the national anthem.
Comsec, please acknowledge our members present and also our guests.
We want to acknowledge our members present in the plenary and via Zoom video conferencing. Likewise, we want to acknowledge our guests in the session hall from ABS-CBN. We have Mr. Katigbak, Mr. Lopez, Ms. Vidanes, Attorney Cherry Cruz, and from DOJ, we have. Wait. Hold on. Where's that? Sandre. From ABS-CBN also, we have Attorney Enrique Quiazon, Attorney Aresio Rendor, and Attorney Miguel Damaso. We have also Mr. Raymond Miranda, their Chief Strategy Officer. From Department of Justice, we have Assistant Secretary Nicolas Felix T. and Ms. Daisy Rose Docena. Via Zoom, we have USEC Emeline Aglipay Villar and ASEC and State Counsel from the NTC, we have Deputy Commissioner Edgardo Cabarrios in the plenary, and via Zoom, we have Commissioner Cordova. From Bureau of Immigration, we invited Commissioner Jaime Morente, but they do not confirm their attendance. We have also former employees of ABS-CBN who want to join us to observe the proceedings. Mr. Jornal Lipayonan, Mr. Joseph Ong, Mr. Rinaldo Tugade. Yan po.
Comsec, is Mr. Gabi Lopez present?
Via Zoom, we have Mr. Gabi Lopez and also their legal counsel, Attorney Ayo Bautista.
Thank you, Comsec.
Present, Your Honor.
Yes, Congressman Remulla. Paalala lang po sa lahat na tayo ay napapanood ngayong panahon na to at nag-stream ng live sa Facebook page ng House of Representatives, kasama na po yung mga nasa Zoom.
Thank you. At yesterday's session, another bill seeking to grant ABS-CBN a franchise was referred to this committee. This bill, House Bill 6901, was authored by Representative Ron Salo. So before we proceed to the interpellation, let's hear the sponsorship of House Bill 6901 by Congressman Ron Salo. Congressman Ron Salo, you are recognized.
Thank you very much, Chairman. Combined party list and this representation support the grant of a new franchise to ABS-CBN, subject to its compliance with clear and specific parameters. Consistent with this position, I filed House Bill number 6901. Our democratic system affords a constitutional process for the grant or the renewal of franchises to media entities. We respect this process, and under any and all circumstances, we are determined to see to it that its integrity remains strong and credible. All Filipinos are constitutionally guaranteed the right to freedom of speech, but not everyone has the right to broadcast. The privilege of broadcast is only given to qualified persons through the grant by the state of a franchise. In the past days and months, both traditional and social media were inundated with views for or against the renewal or the grant of a franchise to ABS-CBN. Those who favor the granting thereof think that there will be a curtailment of the freedom of speech and consequently the press if such is disapproved. Those opposed to it, on the other hand, are convinced that it is never an issue of the freedom of speech or of the press, as everyone was free to voice out his sentiments. In fact, no one was censured by the government for expressing his views and opinions, no matter how these were strongly worded. Those opposed are convinced that the primary issue is the violations committed by its owners and officials that merit non-renewal of the network's franchise. There are certainly merits and demerits of both positions, and expressing such concerns, ideas, and opinions on the matter is part of democracy. It allows us, the representatives of our people, to hear your sentiments and enables Congress to craft an informed legislation. Parang may punto sa mga sumusuport at umaharang sa prangkisa ng ABS-CBN. Ang kailang pagpapahayag ng kailang hinaing, kuro-kurot opinyon ay bahagi ng demokrasya na ating tinatamasa. Dahil ito upang marinig natin ang kailang mga boses nang sa gayon ay makapagtasa at makapagpasa ang Kongreso ng nararapat na batas. Our support for the grant of the new franchise to ABS-CBN is primarily anchored on our desire to provide a more democratic space and medium where our people can express themselves, which is essential for a more vibrant democracy. We need more mediums to ventilate sentiments, scintillate ideas, and shape opinions. We need more mediums to inform the public of government laws, rules, and regulations and its efforts, develop more positive Filipino values, and create a more cohesive and coherent Filipino society and culture. We must listen as well to what many of our people say about having more choices for entertainment to fight their boredom and loneliness, to maintain their mental health, to momentarily forget your worries over the continuing threat of the pandemic and the looming widespread joblessness, and to paint smiles on forlorn faces trying to hide hunger and uncertainty. We need more mediums that are of Filipino orientation to ensure that our consciousness as Filipinos will not be lost in this forest of foreign-dominated sources for information, to ensure that while we are conscious of being part of a globalized world, we remain Filipinos with unique values, culture, and traditions. We reiterate that we are cognizant of the concerns raised by oppositors on the alleged violations of ABS-CBN. Certainly, these are legitimate and serious matters which cannot be swept under the rug. Thus, while we support ABS-CBN's grant of a new franchise, it cannot be business as usual for its owners and officials. We heard the promises and undertakings of ABS-CBN officials to strive to be a better company. Yet, We cannot simply hold on towards the other for self-preservation. We need a commitment to accountability that will truly transform this network as a responsible institution with a deeper responsibility in building a nation. Not all of the network officials before us today will always be here to ensure that the new 25-year franchise will indeed bring about and sustain this new age of responsibility and accountability. Surely, we cannot wait for another 25 years when they return to apply for a renewal just exact accountability as what we are doing in this hearing. We need a mechanism to make sure that within the life of the franchise, responsibility and accountability must define the continuing relevance of the grant. Thus, I respectfully propose the following 7 highly important parameters with which ABS-CBN shall be measured within the period of the franchise to be implemented by the NTC and other agencies of the government. Otherwise, the owners and officers may be penalized, or its programs may be suspended, or ultimately its franchise may be recommended to Congress for revocation. These are specifically enumerated in House Bill 6901. Number 1, Mr. Chair, is strict compliance with the Constitution, laws, rules, and regulations, including labor laws and standards. Second, is promotion of employment and security of tenure. There must be a ratio of 60 to 40%, a minimum of 60% permanent employees, and a maximum of 40% contractors, casuals, job orders, consultants, talents, project officers, and independent contractors. Third is ensure impartial and balanced reporting. ABS-CBN shall ensure that news and events are reported accurately and truthfully, and that all parties involved in such news and events are allowed equal time opportunity for information sharing. Fourth is promotion of positive Filipino values. ABS-CBN must ensure that all its programs, including its talents and the languages used by its talents, promote positive Filipino values. The MTRCB shall actively monitor ABS-CBN's compliance on this matter. Fifth is provision of public service time. 10% of the paid commercials or advertisements shall be allocated based on need to the executive, legislative, judiciary, constitutional commissions, and international humanitarian organizations duly organized with statutes for free, as already contained in other franchise laws of other grantees. Sixth is a strengthened self-regulation of contents. ABS-CBN shall not allow to air speeches, plays, acts, or scenes, or other materials through broadcast or telecast with the tendency thereof is to propose or to incite treason, rebellion, or sedition, or the language used therein, or the theme of or the behavior or action of talents is immoral or indecent. And lastly, reasonable and equitable rates of election ads. Rates of election campaign ads should be reasonably and equitably priced to afford all candidates, particularly those seeking national positions, afforded equal opportunity to present their platforms of government. This will enable the electorate to arrive at an informed decision in choosing their leaders and will promote the remove the undue advantage of moneyed candidates over principled ones. COMELEC shall implement this section. And before I close, I propose that the 7-point track shall be fleshed out in an institutional plan of action for responsibility and accountability, or IPARA, that shall be crafted by NTC in consultation with DOLE, MTRCB, and COMELEC, to be used as a reference for regular monitoring and evaluation of the network's performance. Ang mga lituntuning ito ay tungo sa mas maayos na pasada ng ABS-CBN sa himpapawid. At paminsan-minsan, maaari itong parahin sa tabi upang alamin kung ito'y nasa tamang ratsyada pa. I also filed House Bill number 6902, which requires all franchise grantees of television and radio broadcast networks to comply with these parameters. Comply or else paparahin din natin sila. Thank you very much, Mr. Chair.
Thank you, Congressman Salo.
Mr. Chairman. Mr. Chairman.
Yes. Defensor.
Mr. Chairman, just for the record, the Honorable Salo's bill is the second bill for the new one. All the other bills are for renewal. So it is only the Honorable Rufus and the Honorable Salo who filed a bill granting a franchise, which is technically a new franchise. And with that, Mr. Chairman, also, as we go to interpellation, and the other members may want to file other bills, but maybe if it's possible that their speeches just be inserted for the record. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, Congressman Defensor. After the ABS-CBN presented its side last Monday, we'll begin with the interpellation by the members. So far, marami na pong nagpa-pre-register para sa kanilang interpellation sa secretariat natin. The members can ask questions to the ABS-CBN officers and lawyers and other resource persons from the OSG, NTC, and DOJ. They can be asked by our members and sponsors to clarify matters related to the response of the ABS-CBN on the alleged constitutional violations of their franchise. Paalala lang ulit, meron tayong 3 minutes per author. Hindi po kasama yung sagot po ng ating mga resource persons.
Tulad po nung nasabi ko nung nakaraang pagdinig, iisa-isahin natin ang mga issue na di umano'y paglabag sa ating konstitusyon ng ABS-CBN. Ito ang magiging pagkakasunod-sunod ng mga katanungan. Una, whether or not the acquisition of ABS-CBN by the Lopez family after the EDSA revolution was pursuant to the Constitution. Pangalawa, whether or not ABS-CBN application violate the 50-year constitutional limitation for a franchise. At pangatlo, whether or not ABS-CBN violated the 100% Filipino ownership management of mass media na nahahati sa dalawang issue. Una, sa citizenship ni Mr. Gabby Lopez III. At pangalawa, sa posibleng pag-aari ng mga foreigners sa ABS-CBN sa pamamagitan ng mga PDRs. Magkahiwalay po nating itatakel yung dalawang issue po na yon. Let's go to the interpellation on the first constitutional issue, kung saan ang katanungan ay whether or not the acquisition of ABS-CBN by the Lopez family after the EDSA revolution was in accordance with the Constitution.
Una po sa listahan natin, para sa kanyang manifestation, Congresswoman Claudine Diana Bautista.
Mr. Chairman, just a
Kong
quick
Defensor.
question. We will be ending at 1 o'clock. Is that not correct, Mr. Chairman? 1 o'clock will be our...
Vice Chairman Defensor, we have another hearing for the Blue Ribbon Committee or Committee on Good Government and Public Accountability at 1 o'clock. It's about Meralco. So, importante sa ating mga kababayan na mapababa natin yung singil, kaya itatakel rin natin. Alam ko nga kaparehas na importante ito sa issue ng ABS-CBN, pero marami rin tayong trabaho dito sa Kongreso na kailangan nating gampanan.
Yes, Mr. Chairman, thank you po. Kaya ko po nabanggit yan kasi ngayong pagkakataon, sa aking pagkakalam, si Mr. Gabby Lopez ay nandyan na sa Zoom. Kung meron po tayo ng cut-off time, kung maaari po doon sa agenda, unahin na natin siya, makapagtanong na yung mga tao para mailinaw na nila kaagad kung ano itong issue ng citizenship. Since we already have Mr. Gabby Lopez online, I think the Honorable Marcoleta.
Hearing suspended. Hearing resumed.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Mr. Chairman, again, as per our discussion, first and foremost, Mr. Gabby Lopez is there. Nandiyan na po siya. Pangalawa, ito po yung mga constitutional issues na kailangan natin resolba. Yung citizenship is very critical to the issue of the franchise. Kaya po, Mr. Chair, with the agreement of our good chairman, Congressman Chicoy Alvarez, chairman of the Legislative Franchise Committee, Congressman John Alvarado of the Blue Ribbon Committee, I move that we take up the issue of the citizenship of Mr. Gabby Lopez. I so move, Mr. Chair.
Second.
There's a motion, duly seconded. We will tackle first the issue of whether or not ABS-CBN violated the 100% Filipino ownership and management of mass media. Uunahin po muna natin ang katanungan about citizenship ni Mr. Gabby Lopez III. Paglilinaw po, bago natin umpisahan ang interpellation at ibigay ang floor kay Congressman Dindi Bautista. Hindi po natin binibigyan ng special treatment dito si Mr. Gabby Lopez. Hindi po natin siya pinag-iinitan. Kaya sa kadahilanan na siya ay unang tatanungin. Ang kadahilanan po kung bakit siya ay unang tatanungin, kasi yung citizenship po ang kauna-unahang prohibition pagdating po sa pagkakaroon ng franchise. Kaya po, bubuksan na po natin ang pagtatanong at ang una pong magtatanong, the chair now recognize Honorable Claudine Diana Bautista.
Mr. Chairman, point of order. Mr. Chairman, in pursuant to our rules, especially in the Blue Ribbon Committee, may we ask all guests to take their oath before? Because I think last time Mr. Gabby Lopez wasn't present, and so do we administer the oath?
Thank you for the gentle reminder, Congressman Albano, Vice Chairman of the Blue Ribbon Committee. Comsec and guest, may we direct the Comsec to give the oath and to swear in all the guests.
Please stand. Including the...
Mr. Chairman, continuing oath yung mga nag-swear nag-oath na dati, continuing oath na lang sila. Yung mga hindi pa lang na...
Yes, Congressman Remulla, also Vice Chairman of this committee. Yung mga bagong dating lang po.
Si Mr. Gabby Lopez at saka si Asek.
Namely, Mr. Gabby Lopez
Asek Aglipay.
and Asek Aglipay.
Yusek.
And Yusek Emily Aglipay.
Sana may bike sila. Please raise your right hand. Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth before this joint congressional hearing? So help you God. Thank you.
Maraming salamat po, Comsec. Again, uulitin ko po, the chair now recognize Congresswoman Honorable Claudine Diana Dindi Bautista. Paki-unmute po. Paki-unmute.
Yes, thank you. Before my interpellation, Mr. Chair, I'd like to make a short manifestation.
Yes, you may, Congressman Dindi.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Good morning to our chairperson of the Committee on Legislative Franchises, Chair Chicoy Alvarez. Good morning, Chair Jonathan C. Alvarado. To the members of this committee and the honorable members of the House of Representatives, our guests for today, good morning. The matter that this joint committee is about to tackle, the matter of legislative franchise of ABS-CBN, is undeniably of great importance. To some, the current issue is simply about ABS-CBN's 11,000 employees or the loss of their favorite programs. But while these must be taken into account, it is of utmost importance to consider other substantive issues raised in relation to ABS-CBN's franchise application and demand our scrutiny as lawmakers who are called upon to exercise the mandate and perform the responsibility given to us by the Filipino people. In the interest of fairness, we must hear ABS-CBN's arguments as well as the numerous allegations and issues being raised by those opposing ABS-CBN's application for a grant of franchise. It is the duty of this august chamber and the interest to conduct a thorough, fair, and transparent investigation into the allegations being levied against ABS-CBN. Hence, given the need to ensure a comprehensive, balanced, and orderly inquiry into the matter of ABS-CBN's franchise application, and as a member of both Committee on Legislative Franchise and Committee on Good Government and Public Accountability, I would like to humbly but formally request to this joint committee that we only permit questions and inquiries entirely relevant to the subject matter to the extent that will allow a thorough presentation and appreciation of the evidence as our speaker promised to this joint committee. Thank you, and may we all have a fruitful and productive committee meeting today.
Congresswoman Bautista, do you have any other questions?
No, that was just a manifestation, Mr. Chair. I'd like to proceed with the interpellation about the citizenship of our guest.
Please do so, Congresswoman Bautista.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. First of all, good morning, Mr. Lopez, and thank you for joining us in today's committee hearing.
Magandang umaga po, Representative Bautista, Speaker of the House Alan Cayetano, Majority Leader Martin Romualdez, Chairman of the two committees on Legislative Franchise, Chairman Alvarez, and Committee on Good Governance, Chairman Alvarado, members of both subcommittees, esteemed members of Congress, to our 11,000 employees, ang mga mamayan watching us throughout the country. Magandang umaga po sa inyong lahat.
Maraming salamat po sa napakasarap na pagbati, Mr. Gabby Lopez. Pero ipapaalala lang po ng mga chairman ng joint committee na ito na please wait to be recognized bago po kayo magsasalita. At iyan po ay isa sa mga batas po ng committee ito. And always address the chairman sa pagtatanong at sa pagsagot. Maraming salamat po, Mr. Gabby Lopez. You may continue, Congresswoman Dindy Bautista.
Okay, Mr. Chair, my questions will be addressed to Mr. Gabby Lopez himself. Again, sir, good morning, and thank you for joining us in our hearing today. I just have a few questions with regards to the issue on your citizenship. Sir, before 2001, as an American citizen with a U.S. passport, have you traveled all over the world using this U.S. passport, correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
Excuse me, Congresswoman Bautista and Mr. Gabby Lopez, uulitin ko po, always address your inquiry to the chair, and before po kayo sasagot, bago po kayo sasagot, hintayin niyo po muna na kilalanin po kayo ng chairman. Please wait to be recognized first. Okay po? Tuloy na po tayo. Maraming salamat. Congresswoman Dindy, you have the floor.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Chair. Mr. Chair, on these travels using your U.S. passport, you had to identify yourself as an American citizen in filling up immigration and customs form, right?
Mr. Lopez?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. Thank you. Mr. Chair, by the way, when you applied for a U.S. passport as an American citizen, did you ever indicate in your application that you were also claiming Philippine citizenship?
Mr. Lopez,
The immigration forms that I've had to fill out did not have a provision addressing that particular question about my multiple citizenship.
Congresswoman Bautista.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Chair. So from your answers, it appears to me that during this part of your life, when you were living in the U.S., you were born as an American citizen, studying in American schools. During this entire time, did you ever take the U.S. Pledge of Allegiance?
Mr. Lopez.
Your Honor, I did not.
Congresswoman Bautista.
Not even in the Pledge of Allegiance was part of school activities because, Mr. Chair, I remember, I studied here in the Philippines from elementary to high school and I remember from elementary to high school, after ng flag raising natin, di ba po, we raise our hand and we recite the Panatang Makabayan. So, I'd like to clarify with Mr. Lopez, did you partake in any of the activities that you had to do the same in the States?
Mr. Lopez.
Your Honor, I grew up in the Philippines and I went to grade school and high school in the Philippines. And I only went to college and my master's in America. When you go to college in America, it does not ask you to give an oath of allegiance.
Thank you, Mr. Lopez. Please continue, Congresswoman Bautista.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. By the way, in your school records in the U.S., did you ever indicate that you are a citizen of the Philippines?
Mr. Lopez.
Yes, Your Honor, I applied to my college and to my master's as a Filipino citizen.
Congresswoman Bautista.
While you lived as an American citizen in the U.S., did you ever vote in the U.S. election?
Mr. Lopez.
Yes, Your Honor, I voted in 2016, the 2016 elections.
Okay.
Congresswoman Bautista.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. So when you came to the Philippines in 1986, you were still using your American passport, correct?
Yes, Your
Mr.
Honor.
Lopez.
Sorry.
Please continue, Mr. Lopez.
Yes, Your Honor, I did.
Congresswoman Bautista.
In fact, you first got your Philippine passport in 2001, correct?
Mr. Lopez.
Yes, Your Honor.
So whenever you traveled to the Philippines under your American passport from 1986 to 2001, what type of visa was stamped on your passport upon arrival?
Mr. Lopez.
If I recall correctly, it was a balikbayan status.
Congresswoman Bautista, you still have the floor continuously. Dire-diretso ka po. Huwag mo na po ako hintayin. Si Mr. Lopez lang po ang maghihintay to be recognized.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Chair. So are you aware that being given a balikbayan visa or a 30-day visa, these visas are intended to be given for non-Filipinos?
Mr. Lopez.
It was never brought to my attention, but it was one of the reasons, perhaps, that in 2001, I applied for a recognition of my Philippine citizenship.
Okay. So, incidentally, did the upper management of ABS-CBN know that you were using an American passport and had no Filipino passport when you assumed leadership of ABS-CBN in 1986?
Mr. Lopez.
Your Honor, it was not an issue that was raised during our management hearings.
So your submission showed that you filed a petition with the Bureau of Immigration in 2001 for recognition of Filipino.
Hearing resumed. Kong Marcoleta. Hearing suspended for a few minutes. Hearing resumed. Kong Marcoleta, please proceed po.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I was requested to go back a few lines. I'll start with alleged black time with Amcara. Ganito rin po ang napatunayan na ginawa ng ABS-CBN nang gamitin nila ang Channel 43 para lumipat mula sa analog papunta sa digital na sistema. Mula pa sa demonstration period na ibinigay ng NTC sa ABS-CBN na hanggang June 30, 2015 lamang, ito ay nagpatuloy sa pag-broadcast ng TV Plus at pay-per-view hanggang ito ay umabot ng 5 taon at 4 na buwan. At 1 taon bago matapos ang prangkisa ng ABS-CBN at Amcara, ay ibinenta nito ang 49% ng kanyang pagmemay-ari nito sa Amcara at nagkunmang na black timing lang ang lahat para mapagtakpan ang paggamit ng TV Plus sa pag-akala nito na ang prangkisa ng Amcara ay hindi na mapapansin na paso na rin noon pang Mayo 4, 2020. Nabuko pa ang ABS-CBN ng mapatunayan sa pagdinig na hindi black time ang arrangement nila, kundi isang use of rock na ipinagbabawal po sa prangkisa. Ito po ay dahil sa pag-amin na rin ni Ginoong Karandang na sa halos 24 na taon ng ABS-CBN ang gumagamit sa kanilang frequency, gamit ang sariling logo, tauhan, pasilidad sa pag-ere ng kanilang programa. Pati nga ang kanilang transmitter na pinatunayan ng NTC at ng Ginoong Karandang na patuloy na ginamit kahit sila ay merong cease and desist order na tinanggap mula sa NTC noong Mayo 5, 2020 sa kabila ng pagsisiguro sa akin ni Ginoong Carlo Katigbak na sarado na ito dahil siya raw mismo ang nag-utos nito. Kaya marami po siguro ang makakasuhan ng perjury dito. For 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, makikita po sa slide dyan, for the past 24 years, ABS-CBN did broadcast all its shows through the Studio 23 frequency of Amcara, with only 3 hours sign-off. Amcara has not shows of its own. It has no other client except ABS-CBN. This is use of rock, not black timing. And ABS-CBN and Amcara have to face the legal consequences for this deliberate misrepresentation. At sa isang bahagi po ng pagdinig ay muli na naman pong tinangka ng ABS-CBN na palitawin na tuloy-tuloy po ang usapan nila matapos ibenta nito ang 49% ng pag-aari nito sa Amcara. Nang tanungin ko po ang Amcara kung paano nila ito gagawin samantalang meron ng petisyon sa NTC na pagtibayin ang deed of assignment ng Amcara at Asian Multimedia and Production Company na kanilang pinagkasunduan pa noong pa pong Marso 12, 2019. Ay wala na pong naisagot si Ginoong Karandang at inamin na po niya lahat ng napatunayan sa bahaging ito ng ating pagdinig. Ang Asian Multimedia ay pag-aari ni Ginoong Federico Garcia, isang retiradong opisyal ng ABS-CBN. This surreptitious use of Amcara as an artifice demonstrates a familiar pattern, Mr. Chair. Ibinabato-bato na lang ang pagtitiwala ng sambayan ng Pilipino. ABS-CBN is more observing itself, its benefit, and all the perks that go with it. ABS-CBN has doubtful title to the properties. Hindi lang po ang Filipino citizenship ni Ginoong Gaby Lopez ang kaduda-duda. Maging ang mga titulo ng ABS-CBN sa mga pag-aaring biglang naibalik sa kanila pagkatapos ng EDSA Revolution ay kaduda-duda rin. mula sa salaysay ni Ginoong Augusto Almeida Lopez ay ibinilin pala ni dating Pangulong Cory Aquino na idaan sa arbitration ang pagdidetermine ng pagmemayari ng ABS-CBN sa mga pasilidad nila sa Quezon City at mga probinsya. Ito po ang layunin ng unang agreement to arbitrate na may petsang January 6, 1987. Dito ay ipakikita ng ABS-CBN ang lahat ng kanilang torrents titles at iba pang katibayan ng kanilang ownership. Pero hanggang ngayon po ay walang maipakitang record ng arbitron na ukol sa pagmemayari ng ABS-CBN. Even the title to their property in Mother Ignacia Avenue in Quezon City, from which all its power literally and figuratively emanates, appears to be spurious. Pakita po natin yung mga titulo. Yung una pong titulo ay ito po yung binigay sa atin, Mr. Chair, na Xerox copy. Sa bandang ibaba po niyan, makikita po ninyo ang titulo ng pinagkunan ng kanilang sariling titulo. Yung nasa kanan naman, yan po yung nasa pag-iingat ng Register of Deeds. Makikita po sa dalawang titulo na yan, parehong-pareho, na yan po ay Owner's Duplicate Certificate. Hindi po makita sapagkat wala sa vault ng Registry of Deeds ng Quezon City yung original title. Kasi po kung pupunta kayo doon para humingi ng electronic copy ng original title, yun po ay makikita ninyo at madidistingue sapagkat ang original title, nakasulat sa left margin nito yung salitang original title. Pakita po nyo yung dalawa pang titulo. Yan pong dalawang nakikita nyong titulo, yung bandang kaliwa, yan po yung pinagmulan na titulo ng ABS-CBN, yung TCT number 110731. Magtataka po kayo dyan pag sinuri ninyo, ibang lugar po ang nakalagay dyan, parang bagong Nayon, Quezon City, at ang kanyang area ay 42 square meters, hindi po 44,000 plus square meters na nandun sa kanilang titulo. Yan naman pong nasa kanan, Mr. Chair, yun po ang kakambal na numero ng titulo ng ABS-CBN. Meron din silang titulo 125702. Sa makatuwid, dalawang titulo pong magkamuka, magkapareho. Yung isa po ay ibang lugar na naman, pero yan ay 400 square meters lang. Ang nakakapag-intriga pa po dyan, Mr. Chair, meron pong minuta na nakalagay for provisional registration. Pero 53 taon nang nakararaan, hindi naman po nila makita o hindi maipakita sa atin yung kopya ng petition for registration. Ang katibayan na maaring wala pong ganun, sapagkat hindi man lang naka-annotate do sa likod ng titulo na dapat sana ay naka-annotate po yung petition for registration sa likod ng titulo. Wala po. At the very least, Mr. Chair, makikita natin doon yung title ng kaso, Petition for Registration or Petition for Provisional Registration, yung case number, at pati na po yung pangalan po ng korte. Halimbawa po, Branch 110 ng Regional Trial Court ng Quezon City. Wala po lahat yun. Kaya talaga pong kaduda-duda yung titulo mismo ng ABS-CBN diyan sa may Mother Ignacia na kung saan nandyan po ang kanilang headquarters. Ito po siguro ang dahilan, Mr. Chair, kung bakit ipinasya ni Pangulong Cory Aquino na idaan ang lahat sa arbitration. Sa kasamang palad, wala nga po silang maipakita ng record ng arbitration na ito hanggang sa ngayon. Tax evasion. It was conclusively proved that ABS-CBN and its subsidiaries engaged in complex schemes to unjustly avoid paying taxes or unconscionably reduce the taxes due to the government. Nakasaad po sa prangkisa ng ABS-CBN na dapat itong magbayad ng tama at kaukulang buwis sa pagtuos ng BIR. But ABS-CBN used its wholly owned subsidiary, Big Dipper Digital Content and Design Inc., a PESA-registered IT company, as a convenient tax shield to deprive the government of billions in revenues. Lumitaw po sa pagdinig na bilang isang PESA-registered company, ang Big Dipper ay exempted sa pagbabayad ng buwis sa unang 6 na taon nito. Pagkatapos nito ay lilipat siya sa 5% na pagbabayad ng tax on gross income, napakaliit kung ihahambing sa hindi PESA registered company na nagbabayad ng 30% of its taxable income, maliban pa sa iba't iba pang national and local taxes. Ang mas malaking bentaha po ng Big Dipper ay walang tax na ibinabayad kung magdideclare po ng dividends na kasangkot ang ABS-CBN bilang parent company. Very much like the Amcara ploy, Big Dipper has no other clients than ABS-CBN and its subsidiaries. It has only one foreign client, ABS-CBN Global Hungary, na wala pong empleyado kahit isa. In other words, Big Dipper exists only for and because of ABS-CBN, which inflates its costs paid for digitization to Big Dipper and therefore reduces its 30% tax obligation on its income but reaps a windfall on dividends with Big Dipper, which is zero rated. Ang pera ay pumapasok lang sa isang bulsa at lumalabas din sa kabilang bulsa dahil iisang tao lang ang may suot ng pantalon na merong dalawang malalim na bulsa. By taking advantage of the Philippine Export Processing Zone, Big Dipper was able to significantly reduce its costs while inflating its income courtesy of its client relatives. It is good that the Committee on Good Government and Public Accountability will conduct a parallel investigation with the Public Accounts Committee to look at possible collusion with the officials of PESA. For the past 4 years alone, Big Dipper declared revenue amounting to 10.6 billion pesos. Nakikita po nyo sa slide. The declared dividends went to the coffers of ABS-CBN tax-free. Ordinarily, this amount would have been assessed income tax of 3.7 billion pesos. That's the amount that the government should have earned, and would have eventually went to education, health, assistance to victims of calamities, and similar public services. ABS-CBN claims that BIR has cleared it of any tax liabilities. But the same agency also clarified that the tax clearance is issued not to mean that ABS-CBN has no other liabilities, or that when fraud is detected, it is already immune for further investigation. Hindi po. Kapag nakatuklas po sila ng fraud, maaari pa rin silang investigahan kahit na meron silang tax clearance. The BIR Regional Director, in fact, signified his intention to look into the operations of Big Dipper in the light of the revealing pieces of evidence that were elicited during the hearings. Bakit nga po ang GMA7 na hindi naman kasing laki o yaman kaya ng ABS-CBN ay nakapagbabayad ng lampas sa 1 bilyong piso kada taon? Samantalang ang ABS-CBN matapos makilatis ng mga dokumentong kanilang isinumite ay nakapagbayad lamang ng halos kalahating bilyon lamang sa loob ng 3 taon. Nasa slide po yan. 2016, 2017, and 2018. Bakit naman kailangang tipirin ang gobyerno samantalang ito ang nagkaloob ng pribilehyo ng prangkisa? Sa isa nga pong kaso na nabanggit sa pagdinig, ay 2.5 billion pesos ang dapat nilang bayaran mula sa pagtaya ng BIR. Napatunayan po na matapos ang compromise settlement, ang ABS-CBN po ay nagbayad lamang ng 152 million, katumbas po ng higit sa 3% ng kanilang dapat bayaran. Maraming beses ko pong ginamit na halimbawa ang isang manliligaw sa usaping ito. Dahil sa kanyang paghahangad na makuha ang kamay o pagsang-ayon ng kanyang sinusuyo, pati nga buwan at mga tala ay kanyang susungkitin. Isang pribilehyo kasi na makamit mo ang kanyang pagsang-ayon. Ang prangkisa ay isa ring pribilehyo, Mr. Chair. Pagkatapos na kayo ay sagutin ng Estado at gawaran ng ABS-CBN ng prangkisa noong 1995, bakit naman ganito ang pagtrato nila sa gobyerno? Halos ayaw na nilang magbayad ng buwis. Ito ba ang in the service of the Filipino o in this service of the Filipino? Unfair labor practice. The proceedings eloquently bared it all. ABS-CBN violated the rights of its own workers. It has denied them their just share in production as required by the Constitution. It committed unfair labor practices that consistently denied its employees security of tenure and benefits that come with regular employment. Ang turing pa naman nila sa kapamilya nila ang mga ito. Ito po ba ang pinatunayan? Ito po ang pinatunayan sa pagdinig ng mga taong naghayag ng hinanakit na naglingkod sa kanila ng tapat sa mahabang panahon. Napatunayan din natin na sadyang nililito ng ABS-CBN ang publiko nang sabihin nito na lampas sa 11,000 ang mga empleyado nito nang masusing tingnan ang mga papeles galing sa mga ahensya ng ating pamahalaan tulad ng BIR, PhilHealth, SSS, Home Development Fund at Employment Compensation Commission. Ang regular na manggagawa ng ABS-CBN ay halos ikatlong bahagi lamang. At ang karamihan ay tinrato na independent contractors, talents, project workers at contractuals kahit pang regular na empleyo ang kanilang normal na gawain. Ipinagmalaki ng ABS-CBN ang halos 14 na benepisyo na tinatanggap ng kanilang talents, project workers or contractuals. Pero ang pinakamabuti, ang pinakamahalagang benepisyo, ang pagiging regular, ay tahasan naman nilang ipinagkait sa kanila. It was established that ABS-CBN, and contrary to the endeared kapamilya treatment to its workers, showed a pattern of systemic denial from its deserving workers the benefit of regularization. Time and again, the Supreme Court ruled in favor of the aggrieved workers who were deemed employees given the basic test that what they do is within the network's control, as it is desirable and necessary to the business of ABS-CBN. How can ABS-CBN reconcile the fact that people serve it for 10, 15, and even 20 years and still claim that they are not performing work necessary and desirable to its business? Paano po sila mamamalagi ng ganong katagal kung hindi naman kailangan ng kanilang paglilingkod? Isn't it that their length of service alone speak much of their loyalty, their competence, and their adherence to the kapamilya sense of belonging? Ibinabato-bato na lang ba ninyo kung saan-saan ang kapakanan ng inyong mga kawani? Gaya po ng sinabi ko na, ABS-CBN should have led the example that charity begins at home. Total bilyon-bilyon naman ang kinikita ninyo taon-taon at bilyon-bilyon din naman ang natitipid sa pagbabayad ng buwis. Hindi pa ba ninyo kayang totohanin na maging kapamilya ninyo ang mga manggagawang ito, alang-alang man lang sa katuwiran na nakasama ninyo sila at napakinabangan sa mahabang panahon? Ngayon, ginagamit na naman sila ng ABS-CBN sa dahilan para bigyan sila ng bagong prangkisa. Hindi lamang po sila, pati ang mga kababayan nating pinasasaya nila. Kanina lang po ay nakita natin muli ang kanilang isa-isang paghibik na kung isasara ang ABS-CBN, mawawalan sila ng tagatangkilik, tagatulong, tagapagbigay ng pag-asa, tagapagbigay kapanalig nila sa bawat yugto ng kanilang buhay. Nakita po natin lahat yun. Pero ang palagi nating sinasabi, magagawa naman po yan ng ABS-CBN sapagkat yan ang pinakamalaki na broadcasting industry sa ating bansa. Magagawa naman niya yan sapagkat yan ang tungkulin niya talaga kung bakit siya kumuha ng prangkisa. Pero mas lalo niyang magagawa, Mr. Chair, na sumunod sila sa batas habang ginagawa nila ang kanilang tungkulin. Sinabi ba nila sa kanilang mga taong binibigyan ng entertainment na dapat huwag silang singilin sapagkat ang prangkisang ibinigay natin sa kanila 25 years ago ay libre? Ang tawag nga natin free-to-air frequency. Ang ibig sabihin, hindi po kayo pwedeng magbenta ng black box pagkatapos pasisingil nyo sa kanila. Sisingilin nyo sa kanila. Hindi kayo pwedeng magbigay ng maraming channels para exclusive, para ilak ninyo, para maging encrypted. Sapagkat kapag bumili sila ng pangkaraniwang digital receiver o black box, hindi nila mapapanood yun. Kailangan magbayad ang tao. Ganun po ba yung pinaliwanag nila nung i-launch nila ang TV Plus? Hindi po. May panlin lang. May pandaraya. Dapat sana binigay yun ng libre. 12 channels, lalong napasaya ang mga tao. Lalong gumanda ang prestihyo at ang imahe ng ABS-CBN. Sapagkat walang siningil kahit isang kusing mula sa ating kababayan. Sapagkat yun ang tungkulin nila sa kanilang prangkisa. Yun ang sinumpaan nila sa kanilang prangkisa. Pero kabaligtaran ang nangyari. Pero ngayon gagamitin nila ang mga taong bayan. Kabaligtaran na naman ang pinapaliwanag. Hindi ba't ABS-CBN naman ang unang dahilan kung bakit ang mga manggagawa ay naging kawawa? Dahil hanggang ngayon ay binabato-bato lang nila ang kaparapatan ng kanilang manggagawa. Political bias and bias reporting. ABS-CBN has been biased in favor or against candidates during past elections is already common knowledge. Kahit pa ulit-ulit na itanggi ito, kahit magtago pa ito sa likod ng press freedom at doktrina ng fair comment, alam na natin ito. Ito ay wala ng bago. Kapag gusto ka ng ABS-CBN, bibigyan ka ng exposure sa pamamagitan ng interview, balita sa news, programs, at i-feature ka sa mga entertainment shows. Kung ayaw ka, tiyak na babatikusin ka, hanapan ka ng butas, lalagyan ka ng slant o anggulo sa balita na sangkot ka, at hindi ka bibigyan ng pagkakataon para sumagot o magpaliwanag. Kanina po yung mga ilang detalya ng kanilang pagmimayari sa mga ibang industriya ibinanggit na ni Congressman Defensor. Totoo po lahat yun. Nagagamit po ang lahat ng ito na plataforma para gumawa sila ng kanilang sariling mga opisyal sa gobyerno. Tutulungan nila para maproteksyonan ang kanilang mga industriya. Ibig sabihin, hindi po in the service of the Filipino. In the service of the Filipino ang mas tamang angkop. We heard some of our colleagues who ventilated their complaints. When asked, Mr. Carlo Katigbak confirmed that their sentiments are valid, and he publicly made a commitment that everyone will be accorded the chance to air their sides in his network. The offer obviously came too late in the day. It has been established and has become public knowledge that ABS-CBN aired the anti-Duterte and paid for former Senator Antonio Trillanes IV, and that exploited children in partisan politics. And despite the fact that it happened on the last day of the election period, when candidate Duterte had no more chance to react or clear his name in the same media network. Mabuti na lamang po at nag-issue ng TRO ang korte sa petisyon ni Speaker Alan Cayetano na noon ay Vice President ni Pangulong Duterte. Ayan po yung mga slides para sa inyong kapakanan. But it is not the bias reporting and the negative campaign per se that is insidious. It is the use of ABS-CBN's network to influence the outcome of political exercise, not for public good, but for its narrow political end that will inure to the advancement of ABS-CBN's corporate interests. Political partisanship is contrary to the terms of its legislative franchise and in violation of the Omnibus Election Code. Uulitin ko po ang sinabi ko na sa umpisa pa ng pagdinig natin. Hindi na dapat maimpluwensya ang mga mamamayan sa pakikialam ng ABS-CBN sa politika. If ABS-CBN wants to be in the service of the Filipino people, it should stop mixing up its economic objectives with the simple aspirations of the ordinary citizens. These two are different and poles apart. At this point, please allow me to address the ABS-CBN's contention that possible denial of its franchise application is tantamount to violation of freedom of the press and of free speech. Kung tatanggapin po natin ang misleading na argumentong ito, edi yun palang nakapakaraming aplikasyon para sa renewal ng franchise ng mga radio and television stations. Noon, ay dapat pala pinagbigyan na lang natin lahat, Mr. Chair. At hindi natin siguro sila inayawan. Kung yun po yung argumento lang. Pero hindi po eh. Kasi po, kung tatanggapin natin yun ang argumento, ang prangkisa will become a matter of right. Hindi na po siya pribilehyo. Wala na tayong discretion. Puro ministerial na lang. Pagka po dumating na sa Committee on Legislative Franchises, wala na po tayong option doon. Siguradong dapat po ibigay natin. Sapagkat pag hindi natin ibinigay, sasabihin nila, oh, that is a violation of free speech. Hindi po ganun. That will be in direct violation of the mandate reposed by the Constitution to Congress as the guardian of this special privilege. Unable to repel the avalanche of evidence against the grant of a new franchise, ABS-CBN Corporation tries a new tact. Very recently, they asked for prayers, words, and actions, and pleaded for help, saying that it's no longer about business for them, but about the kind of system and country and leadership we want. Ito po yung sinabi nila, quoted po ito sa social media and other platforms. But how can ABS-CBN manage to still reverse the tide of public opinion against it when their phalanx of lawyers and accountants prove inadequate to the evidence-based interpellations on the floor that exposed their ruse and legerdemain? The last 2 days of the hearing told it all. The defenses of ABS-CBN finally crumbled in tatters, and for all the people to see. The irony is ABS-CBN's appeal to flood, I will quote this again, to flood social media pages with positive stories about ABS-CBN. Apparently, the network, Mr. Chair, is the only one left to believe in the rectitude of its cause or the lack of it. Mr. Chair, maybe they are living in a parallel universe. It is like the proverbial ostrich that buried its head in the sand, but exposed its whole body for all people to see. This is the pitiful state of a broadcasting company which believed that it was invincible for so long a time, and it is above the law. It is high time that the sovereignty of the airways be restored to the people, the ones who will finally decide to whom and when to grant this special privilege called franchise. Mr. Chair, gusto ko pong pasalamatan bago ko magtapos si Enrique Hill at Lisa Soberano sa pagbati at pamanghik na ipinaabot nila sa aming mag-asawa. Naramdaman ko ang kanilang katapatan. Sana po ganun ang ABS-CBN. Sa kanilang dalawa, alam ko na mauunawaan nila na ito po ay tawag lang ng tungkulin. At hinahangad ko ang higit na tagumpay para sa kanila sa mga darating na panahon. Let me end with a popular movie clip from an on-screen and off-screen hero that had captured the hearts of millions of Filipinos to sum up the comprehensive, impartial, and open proceedings implored by the Speaker of the House, Alan Peter Cayetano, in regard to the franchise application of ABS-CBN. Yang sabi nga po ni FPJ, Mr. Chair, kung uulitin ko lang, ABS-CBN, puno na ang salop. Dapat ka nang kalusin. Maraming salamat po.
Maraming sa Marco. At ngayon po ay napakinggan na po natin ng magkaparehas na panig. Inaanyayahan po lahat ng mga miyembro, katulad ko po, na miyembro ng legislative franchise na rebisahin na po ang mga bagay na binigyan po ng pagbubuod ni Deputy Speaker Dante Marcoleta at ni Congressman Zarate upang mas maayos po nating pag-aralan at mapag-aralan ang pagboto
In order to have a more systematic and organized consideration of the summarized points or arguments discussed by both sides, gagawa po ang committee ng isang TWG as per Section 10 of the committee's internal rules to study and draft their recommendations on the application for franchise of ABS-CBN to be presented in the meeting of the committee tomorrow. So ang kasama po dito sa technical working group ay si Congressman XJ Romualdo, Deputy Speaker Pablo John Garcia at Congresswoman Stella Luz Kimbo. So bukas po magkakaroon po tayo ng hearing ng Committee ng Legislative Franchise alauna po ng hapon. Pero pakiusap ko po sa mga members kung pwede po kayong magpaaga ng pag-login o pagpunta kasi meron po tayong organizational meeting ng 12:15, 12:30 po bago po ang ating hearing proper na alauna.
Atin rin pong ipagpapatuloy ang pagdinig ng House Resolutions patungkol naman sa NTC, Solgen at ang show cause order ng Kongreso sa NTC. Kasama na rin po ang iba pang mga usapin patungkol rin po dito sa pagbibigay ng prangkisa ng ABS-CBN kung may nilabag ba ang AMCARA at yung po kaninang nasabi ni Vice Chairman Mike Defensor na patungkol sa Meralco. Iaanunsyo po ng Blue Ribbon Committee kung kailan po ang magiging hearing para dito. Sa mangyayari po na hearing bukas para sa Committee on Legislative Franchises, excuse po muna ang members ng Blue Ribbon Committee.
Maraming salamat, Chair Jonathan. Para sa pagtatapos, una sa lahat, gusto ko lang pong pasalamatan sina Speaker Alan Peter Cayetano at Majority Floor Leader Martin Romualdez para sa kanilang tiwala at patnubay sa ating committee para masiguradong patas, bukas at komprehensibo ang pagsasagawa ng ating mga hearing. Pangalawa, lubos din po tayo nagpapasalamat sa ating mga kasamahan sa Committee on Legislative Franchises at Committee on Good Government and Public Accountability, kabilang din ng ilang mga mababatas na tumulong sa atin upang busisi